'Cause maybe the night that my dreams might let me know all the stars are closer, all the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know all the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Hello, listeners. My name is Tammy Markee, and I'm your host of Tammy Markee Radio Show, sponsored by Millionaires in Training Radio. Special thanks to John Schamberg and all the listeners out there. John, who's the visionary and co-host of this groundbreaking show, captures that spirit of my own vision for empowering such pioneering individuals in the direction of lifelong entrepreneurship. Listeners, please let me share a little bit about myself. I'm a native of New Orleans, Louisiana, but I'm based in Houston, Texas. I'm a concerned humanitarian, international human rights activist, and evangelist. Also, I'm an entrepreneur, Forex trader in a $5.3 trillion daily market, columnist for Kish magazine called Dynasty of Dreamers, and founder of Dynasty Dreamer International. In addition, I'm the co-author of the books Dreaming a Dream and The Princess in You. I can be reached via Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google+, and Twitter at Tammy Collins Markee. Well, listening audience, Ashley Little of Nashville, Tennessee, will be co-hosting today's show. She's an educator, entrepreneur, best-selling author, and speaker. Ms. Little is the co-founder of Sweetheart Scholars, nonprofit blogger and media for Black Women Hustle, blogger for Black Girls Create International, Women's Speaker Circle leader, and Forex business owner. Also, she's a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc. and Alpha Phi Omega. She's a woman of destiny. She has what it takes, and she's helping women to realize that their time has come to share relevant and profound messages to use the power of their voice. She's leading women that are pregnant with dreams and visions but may not be aware of their God-given leadership abilities. Ms. Little is making an impact on women to embrace their destiny by defining their purpose and positioning women for entrepreneur success. Well, listening audience, we have a talented lady on today's show. She is a true example of a dynasty dreamer, and that spirit is going to be an outstanding show. We're on a live radio broadcast today with Dr. Sharon Porter. Yes, Dr. Sharon H. Porter. I am supremely thrilled to announce that Dr. Sharon H. Porter is our highly distinguished guest today. She's an international leader, groundbreaking entrepreneur who has facilitated and empowered countless women to the financial and personal prosperity of them in their community. She's a legendary pioneer in the field of international commerce and a world-changing woman of historical dimensions. Dr. Porter shares core values of empowerment and entrepreneurship to many. She teaches others to open their hearts and minds to embrace their divine destiny. She is CEO and owner of Perfect Time, SHP LLC, coaching and consulting firm, founder of the Grind Entrepreneur Network, and creator and host of Write the Book Now interview and podcast show. Dr. Porter is the author of The Power of Networking, How to Achieve Success with Business Networking, Next in Line to Lead, the voice of the System Principle, and the upcoming class of 2017 What's Next? Women Who Lead, Extraordinary Women with Extraordinary Results. She is a contributing author for the MLM book, The Business of the 21st Century, Woman on a Mission, Sisterhood of Stories, 3 Ps of Success, Purpose, Passion, Profit, Renegotiation, Greatness, and 21 Lessons from Bold Entrepreneurs who have built successful brands behind the scenes of a phenomenal woman and Black woman by birth, championed by choice. Dr. Porter has served as an educator for over 20 years, and she currently serves as a leadership development coach for novice principals and assistant principals in large urban school district in Washington, D.C. area. She's formerly elementary and middle school principal, and she earned a Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education at Winston-Salem State University, a Master's of Education Curriculum Instruction at National Louis University, Administration of Supervision Postgraduate Certification at Johns Hopkins University, an educational specialist degree at Walden University, and a doctorate of education in educational leadership and policy studies from Howard University. Dr. Porter holds a school superintendent license from the state of Maryland, a National Association of Elementary School Principal, NAESP Principal Mentor Certification, and is a Gallup Certified Strengths Coach. She's a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, Sister for Sisters Networking, Inc., National Association of Professional Women, National Black Child Development Institute, and numerous professional educational organizations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the phenomenal world of Dr. Sharon H. Porter. Well, today's episode is called The Business of the 21st Century. How are you doing today, Dr. Porter?
I am awesome, and I want to say thank you.
You are so very welcome. And Dr. Porter, you have such an impressive roster. I want to commend you on all the great work that you're doing, and we are so thrilled to have you on the live radio broadcast today.
Thank you. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You are quite welcome. You are quite welcome. And Dr. Porter, yours is such an incredibly rich resume. Can you give us a synopsis of your eventful life?
Absolutely. You know, I am a lifelong educator, over actually 25 years. Starting out as a classroom teacher, I've served in many positions: assistant principal, curriculum coordinator, instructional specialist, assistant principal, and now leadership development coach, which is by far the best position I've had thus far. But not only with that, and you said all of my companies, but I'm a proud dualpreneur and edupreneur. And with owning the coaching and consulting and book publishing firm, it keeps me extremely busy. So, you know, I love what I do, and I love that I can do it. So that really is all about me.
Well, it shows that you love what you do through your work, and it's truly, truly phenomenal. And your compelling, ambitious, and journey to success and the things that you're doing is highly illuminating, fascinating, which is a incredible, instructed guidepost to greatness, Dr. Porter.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are quite welcome. And Dr. Porter, what do you feel would be the adequate address to the crippling economic issues prevalent among people today?
You know, I really think that individuals need to have a plan. It's so many times people don't understand money, and I think that really is the issue. They think it's all about spending and saving, and that's it. And it's so much more to being successful economically. You know, there's trading, there's investing. People cannot be afraid of their money. You have some individuals that won't even open their bank statement when it comes. And so we have to be knowledgeable, and I really believe that the lack of knowledge is what's keeping most people or crippling most people when it comes to economics. So I think we just have to be aware and educate ourselves, because that's not something that we in our community grew up doing. At least I did not. That was not something I can remember as a child. My father always saying, we got to get out of debt. And I didn't even know what debt was, but I knew it wasn't good. And so it's just really understanding and having a plan in place that you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. If you do not have enough money, then you have to make some adjustments. You either have to cut back or you have to bring in more money. It's one of the two things. So definitely just educating ourselves on money, which I think will help economical issues.
Yes, and what you shared on Dr. Porter is quite awesome, because a lot of times we have not been taught about economic literacy. And so I always say on the broadcast, we need to diversify our portfolios. We need to educate ourselves. We need to align ourselves with experts in that field, have life coaches who will could direct us in that situation of how to manage our finances and how to invest our finances, because we have to go and unlock the economic powerhouse. And by doing that, we extirpate poverty within our communities by education, by having an economic intelligence. And when we have the economic intelligence, we can go empower the people to be able to live that freedom that they've been looking for. Because so many people feel stagnated. They feel stagnated, don't know which direction to go because they just really hadn't been taught. Even though we have a lot of things at our fingertips with the World Wide Web, some people are really not grasping the knowledge of what direction to go in, even though we have so much at our fingertips. So what you said is so profound, because we just not being educated in that area. Even in the churches, we need to be more empowered economically as well. And then applying those core principles as far as even in the churches with economics. So it's about being financial literate. And I do agree with that. And Dr. Porter, I must say what you shared is such a bold and brilliant grand strategy of action that can be executed by anyone who is willing and able to develop a personal sense of economic intelligence and intense work that will allow them to take the wheel of their lives and drive forward towards their own best destiny. And with your scope is truly, Dr. Porter, is truly eye-opening for us, for the listening audience. So we really appreciate you sharing that knowledge with us today.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. And Dr. Porter, you're definitely correct. I agree with the being knowledgeable and not being afraid of your money, because if it's not working for you, you either do cut back or you create those multiple streams of income and work on creating your legacy. And I like what you stated about trading, because there's so many different opportunities to create legacy, and being able to get that knowledge and get that, have those opportunities are endless, but you have to have the knowledge first of it. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Dr. Porter, as a former principal, you have served as an educator for over 20 years, and currently you are serving as a leadership coach for novice school administrators. What are the key factors that determine academic success?
Well, Ashley, there are really three that stands out for me. The first one being teacher effectiveness. There must be quality instruction imparted in classrooms daily. Research has shown that the teacher is the number one contributing factor to student success. So I would definitely have to say first, teacher effectiveness. Then secondly is the quality of the school leader, because it is the school leader who's going to monitor what's happening in those classrooms. And so every school building and every school district needs a quality school leader. The next thing I would say is a mind shift, because those other two are really not a determining factor for the individual student. The third one, I would put the onus on the student. It's a mindset shift that needs to take place. We talk about fixed and growth mindset. I like the grit mindset, the determination, the perseverance, because as we know, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you are right. So whatever your belief system is, so you have to then instill a mindset to these young people that you can do it. Now, the skills may not be there, because that's what we as educators have to develop, right? So as long as the will is there. So as long as you have the will to do what it needs to take, the skill will be made up. And so it's very important that as educators, we make the classroom safe, a safe space, and conducive for learning, and where students feel comfortable with taking risks and making mistakes, because that's how we learn. And so, just to sum it up, I would say those three things: teacher effectiveness, the quality of the school leader, and a mindset shift with the student.
Yes, I agree, because it all starts with the mindset and that passion to love what you're doing as well, because everything starts there, and as well as you stated, teacher effectiveness and a quality leader, because everything starts from the head. So I definitely agree, because it takes a village. It takes a village.
Absolutely, it does. It does. And so, Ashley, so many times, especially since we probably were in school, because we had that village growing up. And it's just not that way anymore. You have to be very careful what you say, what you do to students these days. Whereas, years ago, anybody, any neighbor, your teacher, everyone would be on the same page. But it's not that way. So, you have to be very careful. But once we get together and realize that all stakeholders are our partners, that's when we will be able to see a change. But until we get on the same page, that means the community, that means parents, that means educators. We have to be on the same page to know that student achievement is the first order of business for all schools. That's why we're in business. Is for student achievement. Yes. So,
and we have to keep the families involved and the parents because it starts at home as well. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. This is really terrific, and what you're sharing with us is really inspiring us today, Dr. Porter. Which it brings me to the next question. You are a woman of magnitude, and you're an educator. You share your gift of inspiration and teaching with the world. Your goal in life is to help others align their purpose and destiny to be able to use their gifts to make a profound difference in the lives of others. Dr. Porter, what encouragement can you give to those who are struggling with life challenges that prove to be debilitating to mind, body, and spirit?
Tammy, that is a deep question, and I would say, first of all, you need to surround yourself with the right people because, and I think we've all been in that space where we need some encouragement, that we're struggling with just the woes of life. And as entrepreneurs, they come more so than not. We have a lot of days that, we wonder, wow, what am I doing? And so my mantra is keep grinding. And I say that all the time. And I believe in the midst of us not stopping, not quitting, it's really key to have the right people around us. I call them my helium people. And let me explain that. I see our goals and aspirations as balloons, right? We have them and we're excited to release them, right? Because we want everyone to know. But we have to be careful for whom we are releasing our dreams and our aspirations. Because not everyone is there waiting for helium to pick you up. You have people that are specifically here to practice darts. And what do you do when you are dart practicing? You are shooting things down, right? And so when you release those things, those people are going to be there to knock it right down. You don't need to release your things with those people. You have to know who's among you. So I say find your helium people. So when you release those dreams and you need that encouragement because you've been trying and maybe it's not going so well and they see you coming down, you need that person who's going to lift you up. Say, oh, no, I'm here to support you. This is what you need until you can support yourself. So I really think it's key to find the right people because everyone in your circle is not in your corner. And we have to know that. So it's up to us to identify who those people are, find your tribe, and stick with them because they're going to be the ones to help encourage you when you can't encourage yourself.
Yes, and that's so right. We talk about that all the time on the show about who you align yourself with. And Dr. Porter, you are actually being used as a catalyst. You're a compass to so many people by your gift of teaching and inspiring and even your strategy with business and branding. So you're empowering so many of us, and it boosts the morale of so many people that you encounter. Because so many people are going through the ebbs and flows of life, so they need to be surrounded around the right people that will propel them to the next level or encourage them when they go through life challenges.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, Dr. Porter, I heard you say be careful who you surround yourself with and alignment. That's definitely true because I'm a big believer in moving in silence. And also, like you stated, knowing who is in your circle, knowing who you can share that with, because everybody that's in there is not, and you just have to use that spirit of discernment as well. So I definitely agree with you on that. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, Dr. Porter, who were inspirational role models in your life?
You know, I have been interviewed a lot, and I get that question. And, you know, I never, ever can come up with a person, and let me tell you why. And I had to really do some soul searching as to why I never have an answer for that question. And it's because I never attach myself to people. I look at the act, I look at what they're doing, but I never attach myself to people because people make mistakes, right? We are human.
Yeah.
And that's why so many times when people fall from grace, people are all torn up. Their idol has done something that's not aligned to what they think, or they've said something. They're all torn up. And so I've never, ever done it. Nothing happened that caused me to be this way, but I've just never aligned myself to people. So I'm inspired by acts, not by people. And so, yes, the people, you know, they do the act, but I look at what it is that they're doing that's inspirational. And I take that, and that is what drives me. I give them credit, yes, because it did come from them, but I don't sit and be inspired by them per se. Because next week it could be a different story, and I'm messed up at that point. So, you know, it's so many different things. I am inspired by, first, people who do things, who break barriers. You see what I'm saying? So that's not a specific person. I'm inspired by those individuals who break chains, who knock out windows, you know. We just had the recent election. All of these wonderful women of color who have broke barriers. That is inspirational to me. Those are the types of things that I attach myself to. I have a hashtag, Still First, that I've used for years because it's so many things that we've not done. There's still states that have never had a female governor. We know that, right? We know that. There are still school districts who've never had a female superintendent. There are still cities that have never had a female mayor. I'm inspired by those ladies who get in there and get those jobs done to say, hey, we are here, we are capable, we're able, and we are exceedingly qualified to get the job done. That's what's inspirational to me. So the act of, not the individual doing the act.
Yes, and I agree with that because there's, you know, like you said, people will let you down, or people, you know, nobody's perfect. So being inspired by those actions, just looking at what they're doing, and being inspired by that. So I definitely I see where you're coming from. Absolutely.
Yes, and I see where you're coming from as well, Dr. Porter. That it's really about the acts and those that like to wait for all to follow, those that have that sense of courage and character and conviction, that have that integrity and intelligence and intensity to blaze a path towards the future for others. And that's about legacy and servant leadership. Yes. That sacrifice may never be lost to mankind that they do.
Absolutely.
So, this is truly, truly great what you're sharing with us today.
Thank you.
And Dr. Porter, you are an established leader in education and the business sector. You aim to expand your target market through helping others grow. You are founder of Grind Entrepreneur Network, owner of Perfect Time SHP LLC, and creator, host of Write the Book Now. What can you share with the listening audience on how one can reach this momentous feat?
You know, I live by this: act, assess, and adjust. And what that means is once you are out there, first of all, you have to, and I always go back to the plan, have a plan of what you're doing. But once you do it, then you have to assess it regularly. That's why, as a business owner, the quarterly assessment is so important, so that we can see what has occurred. Did we meet our goals? Did we meet our targets? And then if we didn't, that's where the adjustment comes in. So we do the act, we assess it, and then we adjust as accordingly. And so I think if we follow this routine, then whatever endeavor that we're trying to do will no doubt improve and see growth in whatever, in life, in business, in academic, whatever it is. We have to monitor what we're doing. We just can't keep doing without the assessing of what we're doing. Yeah. And so I think that part of it is always left out. You have business owners who don't assess what they're doing. They don't know where their money is going. They don't know what's coming in. They don't know what's going out. And then they wonder why they're in the red. And so it's just really about monitoring. And whatever it is that you desire to do, you just have to do it. There is no perfect time. I have realized this, and my company is called Perfect Time, right? Because the perfect time is when you do it. That's the perfect time. We can't wait on a set of circumstances because it's never going to align exactly what we want, you know? And so you have to first of all, step out on faith, but have a plan, and then just monitor and make those adjustments as needed. I really believe that is the key to success for entrepreneurs and business owners. And then, of course, surround yourself with mentors, because it's one thing to learn from your own mistakes, but why when you can learn from the mistakes of others, right? If you can get someone who's been down the road that you're going and that can let you know about the pitfalls that's going to come up and you can avoid them, you will be so much better off. And so, you know, along those lines of acting, assessing, and adjusting, get you a mentor or a coach. And sometimes it's not always a paid person, because there are some people who will take you under their wings and help you through that process. And sometimes you do have to invest. And you can't be afraid of investing in your own development. And so a lot of times we as startup entrepreneurs, we try to do it all our own, and we end up wasting money and losing more money, whereas we just invested in getting to someone who can help guide us, we would be better off. So I work with startup entrepreneurs, and that's one of the first things that I tell them. You know, you have invested in yourself, in your business, so that you can make the best decision. Does that mean you're going to do everything right? Absolutely not. There's still going to be mistakes made, but at least it won't be to the detriment of, if you were not aware of something, because we learn from our mistakes. So I never say, people always say failure is not an option. It really is an option if you want to grow. So the key to it, though, is you have to learn from it. And so that's really the key. And so that's what I would offer. Whatever it is you want to do, put that plan in place and then just go for it, but then have a monitoring plan in place.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Porter. And that's the type of blueprint that let us be successful architects of peak performance in our lives, that takes us above and beyond any ordinary definition of success. And I agree with you. We have to implement. We have to have a plan. We have to lead with objectives in mind to be able to to have the entrepreneurial talent in our lives to be able to go to reach that next best destiny. And we have to have a strong foundation in our life of knowledge and skills and real world experiences as well.
Exactly.
Yes, and you are an expert as well as in branding. What is your perspective on how one can brand their business?
Well, you know what? First of all, you really have to understand the market. And that's one of the things that I had to learn, because, again, people just go out and just do things without the research or the background, because I'm a true believer of researching before you get started, just so that you know what's out there. And so when you're branding, you have to know that your brand speaks to who you are. When you're not verbally speaking, it speaks to who you are. And so you want your brand to be aligned with the vision that you have for your business. It doesn't make sense. And that's why we have to be careful who we align ourselves to as well, just as you all talked about. Because when you get a brand confusion, because you're saying one thing, but you're connected with this over here that's not at all aligned with your brand, you're confusing the market. You're confusing people. And so you have to be clear on what you stand for. And to me, that's what branding is about. It's about what are your values, what do you hold dear as a business owner? What do you want your brand to be? What do you want that communicated when it's not verbally communicated? And so to me, it's really aligning yourself. Know what your values are. That's important to me. That is so for me. I'm a leadership development coach. Now, I'm a edupreneur, a doorpreneur. I have a full-time job. There is no way, I work in education, that I would be doing something, my side hustle, my grind, that is opposite of what I do during my day job. You understand? That's confusing. First of all, I love my day job, and I'm a passionate educator. So whatever I do, it's going to uphold that same vision and that same value, because I don't want to confuse anybody. I don't want to confuse, because you cannot, when you are a business owner, you start doing too much, aligning yourself to different people and different brands, people get confused. Like, okay, so what are you doing? Who are you? And so I try to make sure that it's very clear to people that I'm a developer. That's what I do. Whether it's developing you as an entrepreneur, whether it's developing you as an author, whether it's developing you as an educator, my brand is about development. And that's the message that I want to give out. And I do things that align with my brand. So to me, it's very important that we have a true alignment for branding.
Yes. You are so right, because we have to set standards for our brand to have essential, strong brand that's enhanced by a well-defined and executed brand of strategy that we have, because we are our brand. And what you shared, Dr. Porter, is profoundly simple, but simply profound, a way of leaving a lasting impression in the hearts and minds of our target audience. And Dr. Porter, I'm aware that you are a committed-minded professional, performance-driven, extremely energetic woman producing your own unique work, and you have such a compelling vision. What is your compelling vision on how to develop leadership strategies?
And, Tammy, I'm a leadership development coach by profession. Like, that's what I do for a school district, right? And I work with first and second year assistant principals on a monthly basis, and I actually have coaching sessions with first and second year principals. And then with the entrepreneur side, I'm working with aspiring and emerging entrepreneurs. So it's always the beginning of the individuals and aspiring authors, right? Because that's my sweet spot. That's who I like to work with. And so it really is about developing leadership strategies. And so when you're developing leaders, the first thing is you not only are developing yourself, but as a leader, you have to develop others. So it's really important, especially for a new, and I'm thinking of my first year assistant principals, they're just getting into administration, just getting into school leadership. But guess what? Those teachers are looking to them now to be a leader and help develop them. So it's really a dual force now. They're trying to develop themselves while building the capacity of others. And so that's a skill. It's a necessary skill as a leader, because if no one's following you, are you really a leader, right? So you have to build that, and that means that you have to become knowledgeable and competent, because number one, because leadership is not title. And I always tell them, just because you are the assistant principal doesn't mean that they're going to listen to you and doesn't mean that they're going to follow you. You have to build that. And building that means you have to establish relationships, you have to build trust, and you have to demonstrate knowledge and competency. Because if they even sense that you don't know what you're talking about, you have lost them. And so those things are essential. You have to build trust, build relationships, and demonstrate knowledge in order for people to begin to follow you as a leader, because they're not going to do it just because your title is what it is. Leadership is about influence, and not everyone has influence. You have to work at that.
Yeah, that is so very true. And there's a quote by Jim Rohn. He said to have more than you got, you have to become more than you are.
Yes,
and he said that
absolutely.
success is something you attract by being an attractive person. And what you're sharing with the listening audience today, Dr. Porter, it teaches us how great leaders are fashioned and forged.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely, because you are transforming, educating, and inspiring people, and you are actually showing us how to prepare for our future endeavors, and just showing us how these different strategies so we can apply it to our lives to be better leaders.
Absolutely.
So we have to have clear goals and visions, and we have to write our goals down on paper. We talk about that all the time by writing our visions, being very, very clear and intentional about what we want.
And, Tammy, it's funny that people don't write their goals down. I think that is just insane. Like, you're right. And it's something as simple as writing it down. Writing it down. Yes. Wow.
Truly, truly. I'm loving this. This is so empowering.
I do. Yes. And Dr. Porter, you stated the influence. That's was a great word to use. You have to have influence to be a good leader. And also, in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good servant, and you have to be a good follower, and be able to lead by example.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you hit that right on the head. I definitely agree with that. Anybody can be a manager, but it takes a special person to be a leader.
To be a leader, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, Dr. Porter, what are some of the major projects that you are working on?
Ashley, it is all about getting these books published. I am so excited. It's been not even a year yet. I published my first book, 2017. And since then, I've published 5 or 6 of my own and just started out actually publishing others. So right now, my big projects are getting these books out before 2018. I have 2 of my own that I'm doing. One you're familiar with, North Carolina Girls in the Maryland World. I'm so excited about that one. That one is coming out very soon. And then I have another one that's about new principles that will be coming out. And then I have about 5 clients' books that I will be publishing. So I'm just really overjoyed about where this has taken me. And I always say, that you don't know how far you can go until you start. Like if you never start, you will never get anywhere, right? And so I'm just thinking, had I not taken that first step last year, 2017, I'm like, it's getting ready to be 2019. And if I hadn't just taken that leap and said, hey, I'm going to do this. I actually published my first book while I was writing my dissertation, and people thought I was crazy because, the whole dissertation phase is enough. But I was so driven to do that. And so right now my big projects are getting these books out. I have expanded my team. We're still small, so it's taking a little time, and that's what happens when you're, when you have a small. I don't have a big production team, and I'm working full time, so it takes time, and I'm so grateful that my clients understand that. And like this again is the first year. So I've just been blessed, clients who have really trusted me with their projects, and seeing that we got it. My first book that I published that wasn't mine hit number 1, and I was just elated, just elated and just humbled that happened. So right now, those are my big projects, is to get the people's books published, get them out so that I can have, because my goal was to have 10 published by the end of 2018, and I can say that will happen. So I am just so excited about that.
Well, congratulations on all your success. Congratulations on being a best-selling author as well. And it seems like you didn't let nothing stop you. You jumped into your destiny, and you just went for it. That's what you do. You didn't worry about fear. You just did it anyway. And the great thing about it, and why you're so blessed, is because you're developing other people. You're birthing their dreams, so you're helping them step out and birth their dreams. So that's awesome. I commend you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, and congratulations, Dr. Porter. What is a tremendous vision that you have, and we eagerly anticipate the grand unfolding of these momentous endeavors, and bravo to you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Porter, can you give us an example in your life where you were able to gain from the pain by turning a situation of adversity to your victory in your life?
Tammy, I would have to go back to 2012, and actually it's 2006. I started in a doctoral program in 2006, and it takes about 2 years to get through the coursework. The third year is when you're supposed to be writing your dissertation. So 2 years, I finished all of my coursework. It was 2008. And I was just getting ready to get started on my dissertation, and my father passed. And that thing took me down. It took me down, and even 10 years later, I get emotional when I talk about it. But he was sick, so it wasn't suddenly, but that doesn't make it any less painful, right? So it took me down, and I really just shut down. I just couldn't function. I didn't know how to go about and manage. And number one, I had a lot of regret because I was in Maryland. He was in North Carolina. And I didn't go down there as often as I probably could have, to see him. There was always something, how busy we are, right? And that it was just heart-wrenching. And so nevertheless, I spent 6 years in this doctoral program. 2012, I get a message from my advisor saying basically you've got to decide what to do because, 6 years is the limit that they give you to get your doctorate. And they said you have enough credits to get your specialist degree or you can try to finish your doctorate. And so I had to make a decision that I would just use my credits and get my specialist because I really couldn't do any more, right? And so I just lost all focus at that point. So nevertheless, I got my specialist degree, and I just felt horrible because this was like the first major feat that got me. I didn't finish what I set out to do, right? So it was like a defeat, and I was torn up about it. Something happened. I can't even tell you what it was. I don't know if I was reading something or if I was listening to a podcast, and it made me realize, hey, you didn't get your doctorate, but you did get a degree. You did get another. That was my 4th degree. You need to be grateful for what you did get, right? And stop harping on what you didn't get. And when I tell you, I don't know if it was just an inner voice. I don't know what it was. But I switch that thing around. Not even 2 years later, I'm here in my school district in Maryland, and I get an email saying about a doctoral program at Howard University and then somewhere else that they would pay 50% of the tuition. So I'm thinking, do I even want to do this again, because I would have to start all over. I couldn't even pick up from where I left off because I actually used my credits to get a degree. And then something again said, are you crazy, girl? You better apply for that, right? Apply for that 50% scholarship. And I did. I applied for it. I got it. When I tell you 3 years went by like nothing, in 2017, I graduated from Howard with my doctorate degree. And I say that it took just, I guess, the inner dialogue for me to say, you know, you were down, but you're not going to stay down. You know, your father did not raise a quitter. He was a hard worker, and you're not going to allow that to take you down and use that as an excuse as to why you didn't finish. And so I took that pain that I was feeling and I thrust it into my work for the second time around to say, hey, I didn't finish the first time, but guess what? I finished. And that's why my show, I have a live show. It's called the I Am Dr. Sharon Show. And people, they may be a little off by saying I am Dr. Sharon, but it's more than the title for me. It's the process that I had to go through to say I am Dr. Sharon.
Yeah.
And that's why my show is called that today. It's not about the title. It's about the process. So, yes, I am Dr. Sharon, and I can only say that because of the perseverance that I had to go through and the pain that I had to go through to say, hey, I can do this. I'm down, but I'm not going to stay down.
Right.
So that's it.
Yes. And Dr. Porter, that was catharsis for you, because I truly believe that we can gain from the pain, and through pain there's purpose. And for us to never lose sight of what our purpose is, and that God has a way to convert the painful mountains to an instrument of grace. And so that's actually what happened for you. It became an instrument of grace in your life, and you took that pain and you helping other people. You kept propelling, even through your writings and through our writings and things that may share about the people who, came into our life, like your father. That's a piece of immortality there, that his legacy will continue to live through you and live through your writings and the things that you're doing to inspire so many people. And what you just shared with the listening audience is a soul-stirring transparency, and is inspiring and motivating extreme. And may God continue to be with you and your family. So you are showing us that, that God gave you a sense of strength. But even through our trials and tribulations, we tend to learn our strength as well as our kryptonite. Yeah, and we have to go through this refining process. And when we go through this refining process, it does not feel good. It does not feel good, but we all just passing through this earthly plane. But we have a way of continuing to press forward and realize that we have to make our mark here on the earth. And your father made his mark, and you are making your mark in the earth, and you continue to move forward and giving people the keys that they can live the life that they always wanted to live and the life that they desire to have.
Thank you.
Yes,
and you are
truly.
Go ahead, Tammy.
Yes, that was you, Ashley. You want to say something?
Yes, I was going to say she was a true example of embracing the pain and enjoying the journey at the same time. So definitely depression was necessary. It was necessary for you to do that, to push you into your destiny.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Dr. Porter, how may the listening audience purchase your books and follow you?
Absolutely. So I am on all social media, actually Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at I am Dr. Sharon, and that's Dr. Sharon, and all of my books are on Amazon. You can just put in Dr. Sharon H. Porter or go to my website at SharonHPorter.com.
That's awesome. And Dr. Porter, how may we follow your show as well?
Oh, absolutely. That is on urbanstylemedia.com, but the show's website is IamDrSharonShow.com, and you can also find the link there. And it's every Sunday from 10 to 11 a.m., and that's Eastern Time. And we also have the recordings available on the Urban Style Media website. But that's every Sunday, and I so enjoy the show.
Yes, fantastic. And Dr. Porter, I am so big on legacy. We talked about legacy a couple of times throughout the broadcast today, and you continue to be a beacon of inspiration. What do you wish for your lasting global crowning legacy to be?
I would love for my legacy to be that all I want is to help others achieve. That's it. It's as simple as that. I get my joy. My passion is helping, highlighting, featuring others, helping them shine. So that's what I would love for people to remember me by.
That is truly beautiful. And that's the track of enlightenment and encouragement that reveals courage, character, and commitment to the divine purpose and service of humanity, which is truly inspiring and educational, motivational for all of us that are seeking to empower others through a lasting legacy of prosperity to future generations to come. And we thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Absolutely.
You're quite welcome. Well, listening audience, I can be reached via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and Instagram at Tammy Collins Markee. Also, I can be reached at the Money Matrix Network group page via Facebook. For graphic art needs, please contact Millionaires in Training logo designer and graphic artist Troy Cole for business starter kit, custom logo design, 500 business cards for $150. The contact information to reach out is Troy Cole at 323-336-5834. To book a hair appointment with Dr. Tamika Trask of P31W Shine, who is Millionaires in Training stylist. She's a master hair artist couture, artist extraordinaire, located in Houston, Texas. Dr. Trask serves with passion and purpose the needs of women everywhere to unlock not only their inner beauty, but to reveal to the world the awesome outer beauty. The contact number is 832-282-8967. Therefore, the staff will contact you back promptly. And for those who are looking to advertise their business in these fine magazines, such as Kish Magazine, Upwards, Woman of Wealth Magazine, and YMM, Your Marriage Matter Magazine, in addition, for those who are interested in project collaboration or career advancement in the foreign currency market, Forex, Beverly Hills Design Institute, Fashion Design School, or with BN Synergy. BN Synergy is a management and consulting service that carefully tailors to client-specific needs such as commercial property, pharmaceutical, automotive, mortgage, and private equity, and those looking for a ghostwriter or copywriter or to advertise their business on this radio platform, please call 832-685-8443. I would like to thank Ashley Little for this stellar assistant with today's show. And thank you very much, Dr. Sharon Porter, for that profoundly insightful and illuminating explanation about your journey into enlightenment. You're helping many realize and execute upon their full potential and claim their divine destiny. In conclusion, on behalf of myself, my co-host, John Schamberger, Ashley Little, and our listening audience, Dr. Sharon Porter, we appreciate you sharing such wisdom on today's show. Please accept our profuse thanks. You are a woman of measure and gravitas, and we thank you for this wonderful, insightful contribution to the life legacy of each one of us. On behalf of our progeny and future generations, may we offer you our endless gratitude and eternal thanks. God bless you and yours forever and ever. Amen. Today is Thursday, November 8th, 2018. This concludes our interview. Thank you.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist.
Okay.
I don't think you know what you're doing to me. You got my...
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist.
Okay.
I don't think you know what you're doing to me. You got my...
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.